Dr. Oz Show TV Guide October 20, 2014, focus should be in West Africa, not in closing American borders to contain Ebola. The Dr. Oz Show expanded its discussion on the risks of the Ebola virus spreading in the U.S. In light of the death of the first Ebola patient in America 3 weeks ago, anxiety and fear is on the rise as to its effects to Americans. Questions on preparedness and mitigating risks are now a concern. Closing American borders is a hot topic, but infectious disease expert Dr. Alexander Van Tuleken believes that doing so only minimizes risk a bit and may even give a false sense of security to Americans. Here's our recap on the conversation on this topic. Change in gold standard. According to Dr. Oz, the World Health Organization issued a statement saying that massive efforts can contain the Ebola virus in 60 days. However, Dr. Van Tuleken doesn't think that concerned countries are not doing nearly enough, as the world hasn't seen anything this bad to allow seriously manage the virus. This comes with news that the Ebola's average incubation period now takes 12 days instead of what was known as 6 days from literature dating back from the 70s. This means that the quarantine period should be extended to 31 days and not the current standard of 21 days. Argument for well-preparedness. In the U.S. alone, there are only 4 hospitals that are readily equipped for Ebola patients. See photo in this recap: St. Patrick Hospital, University of Nebraska Medical Center, the NIH, and Emory University Hospital. Sadly, only 11 beds are dedicated to Ebola patients. Dr. Oz mentioned that the Ebola virus now is practically a massive live experiment and Americans need to be proactive. Dr. Van Tuleken adheres to the suggestion of creating regional centers to optimize the use of resources. The American public should also know that medical professionals are now shifting to a new mindset where their safety is a concern, including the imposition of protocols on how they can avoid transferring the virus, from the body fluids excreted by a patient, to the public. Bear in mind that the virus becomes deadly and spreads via a patient's excretion of body fluids. Resources to West Africa. Dr. Van Tuleken stressed out that while it is important for America to be well prepared, the solution to the Ebola outbreak lies in West Africa. As such, humanitarian efforts ought to be focused in the region. This is the reason why he believes that closing American borders is not the solution to the problem.